Okay, quick question. What's the temperature of space? Temperature of space is minus 270 degrees Kelvin Celsius, very cold. So cold nothing moves. Unless there's something in space to have a temperature, like a spaceship, or the moon, or the Earth. Then it gets heated by the radiant energy of the sun. So you put a spacecraft on the lunar surface, like this one, and you sit it there. What temperature is it going to be? When it's been sat there for a couple of days, 48 hours in direct sunlight, is it going to be hot or is it going to be cold? Logically, assuming that the craft is full of air, which is what you'd need if you're going to survive as an astronaut, it's going to be hot. You try getting into your car when it's been sat in the sun for a few hours, it's pretty hot. There's a technical formula which I won't go into. It's called the black body radiation formula, which you can use something called the Stefan-Boltzmann constant to work out the temperature of any body in space. And if you do the calculation, this spacecraft should have a temperature of 240 degrees Fahrenheit. Reasonable sort of temperature. How do you keep cool in that temperature? You can't use air conditioning because you're in a vacuum, which is the best insulator there is. So you have to use radiant. You basically collect the heat and you either evaporate water across a piece of metal, and violent evaporation of water will remove heat, or you can radiate it out into space. But there's none of that going on here. However, that's a little diversion. Look at the flag. Remember the flag, and remember this board here. It actually looks like a checkerboard. We're going to flip that picture over. So the checkerboard is here, and the flag is here. It's just a reversed image of the previous photograph. And then you get this. Then you get this. This picture, the top one, black and white one, appears in a book I'll show you in a minute. And here is the checkerboard, and this is the lander, and there's the flag. It's moved. This is the golf shot. This is the famous Alan Shepard taking a golf ball to the moon and see how far we can hit it. Oh look, there's the golf ball. He's hit it a long way, he tells us. I'm no golfer, but he's supposed to have sliced it. How do you slice something in a vacuum? I don't know. Anyway, what have we got here? We've got the American flag, which is not quite the same as it was in the previous picture. We've got the golf ball here. We've got Alan Shepard here. We've got Ed Mitchell here. We've got their little trolley. They carry their experiments around with them in. And this is what's called the S-band antenna, which is pointing at Earth, so that you can communicate with Houston. And it's a fake. Complete fake. It's a Hasselblad image. You've got the crosshairs there. And it appeared in this book called Moonshot. Golf Shot, Moonshot. Introduction by Neil Armstrong. Alan Shepard and Deke Slayton, they were the two of the most senior astronauts around. Anybody wants to see the original, it's actually in this book. It's published about 15 years ago, and the paperback version of it doesn't include that picture. It doesn't include a few others as well. This is the television image of the same, supposedly the same incident, the golf shot. There's the flag, which happens to be the other way around. So they've got the continuity wrong. This picture was on display at the Kennedy Space Center for quite a few years. And then I sent the details of this to a website and questioned it and said, well, how was this picture created? And the Apollo research community out on the internet is a pretty vast bunch of guys. They do know their subject. And within about 2 weeks, they come up with the answer. There are 5 different pictures. The background one was the one we saw earlier, of the reversed image of the lander. The American flag was taken from another picture, which was photographed slightly differently. These are 2 television images that are just planted in. This is from another image, and the background here was extended. It's 5 different pictures. Once the news came out that the picture was fake, because it's not in the book, it's not shown, it's not captioned as a fake, or a montage, or a composite. It's passed off as for real. soon as they saw that basically they'd been rumbled, they took the picture down. Okay, let's move on to Apollo 15. This is the landing site. Apollo 15. This is the Hadley Rill, so called because it looks like, I don't know, a collapsed volcanic tube is what we described as. A rill, a little sort of winding thing. That's where Apollo 15 landed. Okay, this is where they landed. That's the mountain in the background. It's called Mount Hadley Delta. Just to give you an idea of the geography, there's Mount Hadley Delta, and there is a little crater just here, which you'll see in a couple of the other pictures. This is Mount Hadley. This is supposedly the highest mountain on the moon, about 15,000 foot above something. Not above this particular area here, but above something else, because obviously this is deeper. This is a little bit lower, 13,500, so let's call it about a 7,000 foot mountain above the surface. So when you've got this image here, there's Mount Hadley Delta behind you, there's the crater over there. Does that look like a 7,000 foot high mountain? About 3 miles away, because that's the distance away from where the camera was. No, it doesn't. It looks like Snowdon's little sister. Not very big at all. There's a straight line across here, there's another one across there. It's almost as if the foreground, which is very detailed, is not the same as this. They're using cameras which have some of the best lenses around, but they're not getting any detail. Now here we have an even weirder situation. These are the 2 Apollo 15 astronauts, Dave Scott and Irwin. I know he's Dave Scott because I think he went out with TV newsreader. Right, Scott and Irwin photographed each other standing by the flag. To take the photographs, each must have had a camera on their chest plate. Right now, notice the picture numbers. AS15 88 11863 and AS15 88 11866. There are only 2 pictures between these two, so it's on the same roll of film. The resulting photograph shows Scott, here, with a camera on his chest, here, as Irwin takes his picture, obviously with another camera. But when Scott photographs Irwin, Irwin has no camera. Where did he put it? Did he drop it? Or what? Or is it yet another of those supposedly in sequence photographs which they forgot the continuity? They're both supposed to have had cameras. Only one of them has. This is just to show that they've got EVA2 and EVA, extravehicular activity 2 and 3. They did 3 journeys out in their craft. You'd think that the foreground that was in place after the second one would be fairly similar to the one that followed the next day, but no, it's not. The photographs look pretty similar, if you like these points to join up. The edge of the flag, the United States thing, the end bottom. These lines show points of similarity, but yet they're taken 24 hours apart. Could you get a very similar background like that in 24 hours apart? First thing you do when you're on the moon, you plant the flag. Like that. So where is it? They've had time to unload this thing here, they've had it unloaded there, they had the flag there. Where's the flag? It's gone. It didn't fall over, but it's just not there. Continuity again. All right. Now, here we go, a weird one here. Note where the background hills are identical for splicing. Right. The arrow here indicates a little nick in the hill here and here. It's the same hill, running at an angle. If you take the 2 photographs together and splice them at the point of the nick in the hill, you'll get one lunar module there and you'll get another one over there. It doesn't seem right somehow. There was only one, allegedly, at any one time. But not on Apollo 15. They had 2. Now, how many craters do you want in your pictures? You can have one there. Oh, it's gone. Fairly similar photograph numbers.